Okay, well, Metro's back for the finale of Pokemon Aegis, whatever, man. I don't even care at this point. But anyway, I guess what you're about to see here is kind of done wrong. So, I mean, I don't know. I spent about an hour and a half in this area, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. Ultimately, what I figured out, I think, I'm not sure, because I've already saved past all this, was that, like, I skipped an entire area somehow. So like, it just doesn't even make sense what I have recorded here, and I think that's testament really to how unfinished this game is, which is fine. You know, it's a beta, like whatever, quote unquote. It's in development, I guess is the best way to look at it, but it needs a lot of work. It really does, and the good parts of the game are really outshined by how many big blaring issues there are like this. So I get close here. You'll see. I almost go to the place where I'm supposed to go. There's stairs up there that you kind of see on screen there for a little bit, and I go really close to. But instead of going up that way, I go all the way around. And I guess if I went up here and went to what's called the sawmill, there probably, I assume, anyway, this is all an assumption, there would have been like story event that would have driven me down here. But I have no idea what it is because I didn't go that way. I mean, it's just an option that I didn't take. It's not like I cheated or skipped it in some other way that wouldn't normally happen. I just didn't go that way, and I guess I triggered an event which caused these Team Supernova members, or you know, whatever, like grunts, to come. And once that was triggered, I guess there was no going back because everything's different now, which I guess you'll see here in a little bit. But it is kind of unfortunate because, I mean, previously, up until this point, these last two episodes, things were pretty good. The first real complaint I had with the game was the fact that rival, Alyssa or whatever her name was, her Pokemon were like 4 levels higher than mine, and I was at the cap. And there was no indication of when I was going to break the cap. That was really where things started to get frustrating for me. But when I, you know, had to cheat to beat her, you know, obviously I could have done it. It would have been very difficult. But I would have really had to exhausted my Pokemon repertoire, you know, the Pokemon that were available. And I had to really get lucky because typically I rely on strong 1-to-1 matchups. Like, I play the game under the assumption that if I could win a 1-to-1 battle 100% of the time, I could win the entire 6-on-6 battle 100% of the time. That's what I like to call a 100% win condition, something I always try to set up. But you just can't set that up when you have whatever this battle style is, where you can't switch out, like, and you don't know what's coming out until it's out, you know. And that's good. That's difficult. I'm playing another game called Pokemon Pyrite, which I've mentioned a few times now, I think, where it's the same way, but there's not this hellacious level cap that's not also not bogged down by the fact that there's some bug that I can't, you know, my Pokemon won't obey. So as you'll see there, that's a character who apparently is part of the story. She just like kills somebody and chops down that tree. But I have never seen it. That's the first time I've ever seen her. Like, when I was recording this, that was the first time I ever saw her, and I assumed it was just a bug. So I just kept coming up here, and I run into these like fishermen or whatever, and all three of them say and do different things. But yeah, it's just not really relevant. I guess if I got these coins, I could have gotten a trip across this lake. I don't know if these gold coins are even in the game at the moment. I found a lot of these Sentai coins just from the item finder, especially in the last area. But I suppose it would have worked for this area as well if I paid attention. Maybe I could have gotten across that lake, but once again was never evident to me until the end. And yeah, I'm just, you know, I don't know. I guess the big difference between this and Reborn is that the Reborn community has figured all these things out already. And for me, I'm kind of trying to figure it out on my own. And it's kind of frustrating. But as you'll see there, the Team Supernova kind of ambushes us. And I've just cut a big part of me trying to figure out where to go. I just cut a part out because I really couldn't figure it out. And they're all over the place. They ambush you a bunch of times. So instead, I just go down here, which is where I saw that character, that female character with the axe, go previously. And I really didn't even recognize what was happening at the time. But I guess this is where you're meant to go once you've progressed through this part of the events. But like I said, I can only assume that I missed some story event because I don't even know where these supernova grunts came from. I don't know who that female is. I don't know what she's doing. I literally, I don't even know her name. The only reason I do know her name now is because I've, you know, obviously played through the rest of it. But at the time, there was no name. So, yeah, I assume that's some pretty big oversight there. And especially in an area where you can go 2 different ways. And I chose the wrong way, apparently. And I'm, you know, the game gets broken because of it. Yeah, there's not much to say other than that. You know, I hate to be negative. Obviously, you know, CrashteamAlphing is the guy's name. He did a great job. There's a lot of really good things here, especially the idea, like the story idea. We're getting to a full conclusion, but yeah, the idea is very solid. It's just not executed very well, and I understand the woes of, you know, struggling to find time for it. But so it's Mizuki. She says, "This place looks empty. Bet you those suckers are still using that lousy camouflage, you know." And then we're just gonna randomly battle. Like, so it's like we've clearly had a conversation before, but I'm not aware of it. And then, you know, we do progress through more. There's more battles. They're pretty difficult, but once again, it's a double situation. Like I explained a few episodes ago, the double situation does allow you to carefully weave around the cap. I think I would have really liked it if the cap wasn't somehow bugged. I don't know if it's just me. I still haven't gotten a reply. I'm still waiting on that, but I don't know if the you know, if because the big issue here is, I should have explained last episode. In fact, I know I did, but yeah, Pokemon don't obey past 25. So even like I've cheated to give Graveler like 5k health, but yeah, like the level 26 Ducklet I have, you know what I mean? He doesn't obey. So, boss, we got company. Stay here. I need you to pick up the phone when Luther calls back. So we got some dialogue here. We'll read through this. You and you. This is the guy you ordered us to bring from. Why did you let this elite guard into the dam? Whoa, hold on. Elite guard? Do we know each other? Because I'm pretty sure I would remember such an ugly face. How ironic. You don't even remember. Luther sent you, didn't he? That arrogant bastard probably thinks we're no real threat. Okay, dude, for starters, I don't work for the elite guards anymore. Plus, they're called metal guards now. In case you've been living in a cave. Remember, now that you mention it, I do remember you. You're that lowlife Anura thief who was trying to steal Sentai artifacts, right? Yeah, now I remember clearly. You standing there asking for money, me adding the final touch. But anyway, sorry about the scar. I used to have a serious cutting problem, but I since sought therapy. I'm a new person now. Well, kinda, not really. But my therapist said I've made a lot of progress. I attack mostly trees now instead of human beings. Point is, I know you want the boy. That's why you sent the team to the forest. Well, I managed to catch him, and I'll hand him over to you for a fair price. Ah, you think you're in any position to negotiate? I received orders to bring the boy here, and now that's done. He's none of my concern. You, on the other hand, aren't getting out of here in one piece. That sounds rather extreme, but considering I'm the one with the axe, let me ask you, why would you want this boy in the dam to begin with? I guess there's some angel watching over this kid, because I'm sure as hell wouldn't mind seeing him drowning with the rest of the city. Ah, so you are going to blow up the dam and destroy my forest? Well, not today, scrub, not today. Huh, who said anything about blowing things up? We're just going to open the valves beyond the safety level. Well, technically, the result is the same, so why are we arguing over details? Enough already. You're a talker, but let me see you hold up in a battle. You're a talker. Yeah, and you know what happens when I listen to talkers? They make me thirsty. That's a good Sandor reference there. So anyway, this person comes in. Clyde, what have we got what we came for. Let's leave at once. I'm not done here yet. So Clyde's got a hellacious scar, as you see. We received orders to retreat immediately. We don't want to anger your superiors, Shirley. All units retreat. Where'd they go? I'll chase after them. Poor Clyde. You never got over what Mizuki did to get Mambo. So, I mean, I'm not even, honestly, like, this is all predicated on characters that I know nothing about, and I really just, I don't have a connection to because of the way the story fleshed out and the issues I've had. But basically, yeah, the Mizuki character, like, worked for Luther, like the main bad guy, I guess, quote unquote, like one of the main characters, and she found that guy that we just fought there, and she like tortured him and like cut his face a bit, like Hannibal style, you know what I mean? And he had that crazy scar because of it. Everyone in Team Supernova is devoted to the cause. So yeah, she's talking about that guy, obviously working, Clyde now working for her. Supernova admin, it looks like in some cases here. born from a poor family. So they members of the government burned down his house, and he tried to kind of like rectify his life situation by going and stealing from the government the artifacts that were in the house that were taken. The artifacts were taken to the museum, and they were compensated, but yeah, parents killed themselves, house burned down, etc. So everything went bad for this man. But it's just, I feel like it's just a one-off character, and there's no reason to even care. It's unfortunate that it's that way. Typically, in fact, the story was the shining moment for this game, at least for me. But I don't know. There's too many characters. It's kind of falling in the same issue with Pokemon Rejuvenation. There's too many characters, and I feel like they all already know each other. And no matter how long the game goes, I don't feel like they could ever properly explain that to me. Like, I'll never look back at this situation here and think, oh, now I know more about these people, so it's fine. Like, right now is irreparable. Like, I can't look back at this and feel differently. I feel like these are characters that already have a relationship that does not have anything to do with me as a player, and it's just not interesting because of that, I'm not interested anyway. But I think most of that came from the frustrations I had with these last two parts that I have recorded. It was just really, really buggy, and this was the latest episode, quote unquote, that he uploaded, episode 3.1, volume, whatever he's calling it, 3.2, whatever, I don't even know. But so she reveals that she's actually one of the temple's high priests, and she knew my father, which was good. That was really where the game started to go downhill after that. Like, I was really, really pumped to see, that scene where your father dies, and you mourn him and all that. That was great. That was really well made, well scripted, well written. But yeah, from then on, it's just been pretty much a downhill slide. I do eventually figure out how to get to the sawmill and chase her down, but it just seems, even from here, assuming this is how it's meant to go, I didn't see where they went, so I couldn't pursue them, spelled wrong. Anyway, I better head back to the sawmill. Oh yeah, you still need help with the tree? What tree are we talking about? Tell you what, all this action made me thirsty for Pokemon battles. I'll give you the cut, TM. One condition, you battle me. Yeah, so we got a battler. Obviously, this is meant to be like another big challenge, just like the fighting dojo was. It's pretty difficult from what I've heard, but I just cheat, so I fucking crush it. Even with cheating, it was still pretty hard, to be honest. But as you see here, she's got a lot of bug Pokemon, and Scyther's dead or whatever. So well done, you earned the Scythe badge. I guess she was a former gym leader. I'm not even sure, or not. But I guess you'd much rather have this anyway. Got the cut TM. Anyway, you're a worthy opponent. I think you'd make good use of this. So you get Swords Dance. Yeah, that's Swords Dance. Teach your Pokemon to slay their opponents in style. Could even raise the attack 2 stages. I don't know, something like that. Now, if you excuse me, some trees around here have been really bad boys, and I have some punishment to do. So you should go back. I mean, it's a pretty interesting character, but just the fact that it wasn't introduced whatsoever because of a bug is, kind of unacceptable. But that's it, man. I'm done with the series. Thanks for watching. It wasn't bad. I'm gonna do a full conclusion, all right? A very short, just like a succinct few-minute video on, what I thought the pros and cons were and what can be improved, and that's that. So, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions past that, let me know. Otherwise, see you in the next one. I don't know what I'm gonna play next.